Hi again, Panther fans. It's Inside Georgia State football. It's Texas State week here at Georgia State. Head coach Sean Elliott and the Panthers looking to bounce back as they get set to take on the Bobcats of Texas State. Each week on Inside Georgia State football, we take you behind the scenes as the Panthers prepare for that week's upcoming game. Today we're joined by veteran offensive lineman Hunter Atkinson. He's out of West Hall High School up in Hall County, and tough one last week in the loss to Coastal Carolina. Always tough to lose on homecoming. But, you know, the offensive line, I thought, obviously played pretty well. 200 yards rushing. Trey Barnett had a breakout game. It just came down to almost who had the football last.
Yeah, it was a great game for us up front. I felt like we had a lot of success there in the second half. You don't never want to lose a game, period, and especially at home on homecoming. Right there at the end, it was a real heartbreak, and you could see it in everyone's eyes in the locker room.
You can tell where we are in the season, not necessarily with regards to the record, but the fact that from center on the right side of the offensive line, it's freshmen and redshirt freshmen that are, getting the job done, as we saw last week.
Yeah, this point of the season, everyone's getting nicks, injuries, it happens, and they're doing a really good job of stepping up and fulfilling their role and doing extra film work and whatever it takes to be game ready.
Of course, we lost Destin Coates to an injury, so the running game has basically come down to a lot of Seth Page and a lot of Trey Barnett. What a surprise for Trey, and great for Trey Barnett to have a breakout game last Saturday.
Yeah, I mean, all them guys are very special back there. You don't never know what you're going to get. They all have the ability to make cuts and make big runs. So for me personally, I don't see much of a drop-off at the back position. They're all really good at what they do.
One last question about the freshmen. The fact that they were able to step in and you guys work together as a unit shows the effect of how well practice goes each and every week. The fact that those guys have been able to work themselves into starting positions and play as well as they have.
Yeah, I mean, they all come to work, and we do a lot of extra stuff together. We have a really good group, and we're all really close, so we help each other out as much as we can, and they've done great so far, and hopefully it keeps going.
Football is obviously a tough game, no pun intended. The fact that you got to wait a week after a game, whether it's a win or a loss, in order to play the next game. You get to this point, nobody thought this football team would be 2-6, but you got to put the 2-6 behind you and just focus on what is in front of you, which is the opportunity to beat Texas State as you head into the final 3 games of the season.
Yeah, we just put all that behind us, and we're just thinking about going 1-0 this week and doing what we can do. We can't control anything that happened, but we can control what goes on in the ahead of us. So our main focus is to come out here and get better every day and just go 1-0 this week.
Let's talk about your quarterback. Dan Ellington leads the team in rushing. It helps to have a guy who can step out of the pocket and do some of the amazing things we've seen him do this year when necessary.
Yeah, he's very special. Really good mobile quarterback. Get out there and can throw on the run. And even if we get pressure under him so fast that he can't get out and throw, he somehow makes it happen on his feet to get yards.
Well, this game this Saturday, Texas State, Georgia State, 2 teams that are 2-6. Somebody's going to walk out of there with their 3rd win. Not so much a backs against the wall, but certainly, you want to get out of there with a win. You're playing at home, and as I said, you want some momentum into those last 3 games. But they're going to come in coming off a win over New Mexico State, thinking that they've got a chance to put a little momentum together. Got to cut them off right at the right at their entrance to the stadium.
Yeah, we really need this win for our seniors and for everybody that just comes out here and works hard, and for our fans. It's a really big, important win for us coming at home in our stadium, and we just got to defend our house, and we need it for our program.
Again, we're talking to Hunter Atkinson, a veteran offensive lineman, and each and every week on Inside Georgia State Football, as we go behind the scenes, we like to tell you something about that particular player that week. And if you've never been over to the practice facility, some of the players will ride bikes over, some will drive, some will walk. You don't do really any of that. Tell us how you get to practice on many of the days that you're making your way here to practice, because you have an interesting interest with regards to 2-wheeled vehicles.
Yeah, I'm big on motorcycles. I used to race for 12, 13 years, so I've always been around them and love to be on them. So I have a Harley I like to ride back and forth and come to practice on. It's really fun.
How many motorcycles do you currently own, and what kinds?
I had a GSXR 1000. It's a Suzuki, and right now I have a Harley Street Glide. It's a 2018.
So not motocross. You're more into street bikes, obviously.
Yeah, no, I can't be riding motocross while playing football. It's too hard on your knees.
I think you're a little too big as well to make those jumps at your height and size.
Yeah, at 300 pounds. I used to not be this big.
All right, well, wear a helmet and be careful. That's interesting.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, I want to thank Hunter Atkinson, a motorcycle enthusiast, joining us here this week on Inside Georgia State Football.